Hello, Virtual Academy, and welcome to another week of online art. What we're going to do this week is a little bit different because this week is going to be all about the process and how something is done rather than how pretty the end result or the end picture turns out. So I'm actually not going to show you an example because I want to show you the process and then we'll just see what it turns into as I make it. This is called either crayon surprise or something similar. Now for the supplies that you need for this, you'll need a plain white paper and then you can use crayons, of course. You can also use oil pastels for this, and if you have them, it makes the project go a little easier and just a little bit better. You don't have to press quite so hard or use as much of your crayon, and oil pastel does just work better for this. However, if you don't have oil pastels, you can use crayons, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and show you the process. I will use crayons so that you can see what most of you are going to end up with, but if you have oil pastels, use those, and let's jump right into it. To create our awesome crayon picture, we're going to take a regular piece of paper and we're going to fold it in half like this. We're going to make a top flap and a bottom flap. So I'm going to fold it like that. And now it can open almost like a laptop, like a Chromebook. So here is my piece of paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color on the top half, just scribbling, not scribbling, but coloring it in with random colors. I like to pick darker colors because lighter colors don't show up very well. So I'm going to put my crayons out here. So like I said, you can definitely use oil pastels for this. But if you don't have oil pastels, crayons will work too. You just have to press pretty hard. So I'm going to do a large splotch of purple and press pretty hard. You have to lay a bunch of the color down. Now let's do this kind of purplish reddish color. And so I'm pressing real hard. And I'm just kind of putting down splotches of random colors. Don't go past the halfway point. You got to stop at the fold. After you have all of your colors on the top half of your paper, what we're going to do now is we're actually going to close up our paper, give it a good crease so it stays right where it's supposed to be. And now we're actually going to draw a picture on this part of the paper. So if it's like my laptop and the colorful part is my screen, close your screen down and you're drawing the picture on the top here. You can use a pencil for this, or you could use a pen too. Just make sure that it's not so sharp that it's going to rip your paper. So I'm going to use this pencil and I'm just going to draw a picture here on the top of this. I decided I want to do almost like it's a fish tank. So I'm going to do this kind of water line at the top. Same thing as with the crayon. You just have to press really hard here, especially if you use crayon. And usually what I do is I kind of go over my line a few times like this because I really want to make sure that that line's kind of nice and thick. So I'm actually going to trace over this line a few times like this. All right, so there's the top of my water tank, and now I'm going to draw a fish down here. So let's do, it's got this kind of round body shape. It's gonna have this long exotic tail. Maybe it's like a betta fish. Long exotic tail. That didn't exactly match up, did it? Oops, we'll make it match like this. There we go. Maybe he's got a long fin up here. It's kind of like a shark fish, isn't he? And then he needs his little flipper for swimming. Give him a little face. Happy fish. All right, so there's my little betta fish, and then maybe he's got like a little castle over here in his fish tank. I always wanted to get a fish tank just so I could do the decorations. It's got a little castle here. Again, I'm kind of scribbling over the lines so that they show up really well. All right, so before I finish it all the way, let's just take a look and see if it's working, okay? So I'm gonna flip my paper open, and there we go. So it's actually transferring what I'm drawing up above to down below. and it's making like a multicolored rainbow picture. Pretty cool, right? Let's do some bubbles coming out of his mouth. So you can draw whatever you want. This project for this week is mostly just about trying a new technique and trying a new way to color. And so I just want you to have some fun with the process. It's not so much about how pretty the end result turns out. It's mostly about just trying something new and having fun with it. Maybe I'll do some seaweed over here. Seaweed like this. Little one. There we go. Ooh, that didn't show up very well. So you can see that my pink color was so light that it's there, but it's not really showing up that well. So that's why I like to use dark colors. All right, so have fun with the process and make sure to show me what you've created.